So I think we're in week 9 maybe of the Greater Sydney lockdown. Sounds like a movie, doesn't it? It's not. But I've realised that over the last couple of weeks, at various stages, I've kind of hit various walls in terms of how well I'm going with the whole process of living in lockdown. I mean, like I've said before in these videos, I feel very privileged to be able to walk around such a beautiful part of the city, to be outside. The weather's been fairly glorious most of the time, and there's a lot to be said for if you're going to be locked down around here. And yet the thing I've really missed is the social interaction and all the community gatherings that I used to be involved in organising and central to bringing together. And I love doing that. I love being with people and having a kind of life-enhancing party going on. Why wouldn't you like that, eh? Yeah. So as I've gone along, at different moments, I kind of hit a wall. I hit one the first couple of weeks because I couldn't swim and I was missing my endorphins, and because I swim for exercise. So I really missed out on that part of life and felt that quite keenly. I hit another one a couple of weeks back where I just thought, this thing's not going to end soon, and I've got to come to terms with the fact that it's a longer term situation, something that I was resisting doing. And I hit one just yesterday again, which surprised me because I thought I was doing pretty well, and suddenly I thought, this really sucks and I hate it. So that took me by surprise. But it did make me think about, so I imagine that's happening for a lot of people. You go through, it's kind of like stages of grief, I think. It certainly is for me. Had a sense that my life is, this will sound very dramatic, but there's a sense in which life is dying. The life that we once knew is ebbing away. Now, I know it'll come back. We're not done for, and so everything's got to be kind of moderated in that framework. But there is a real grief for me about the things that I'm missing out on, and more particularly, actually, my children are missing out on, and my community, and my church. And grief is a very real thing. Grief is that process by which we both cherish and relinquish someone or something that's been very important to us. And in a funny kind of way, the process of grief is part of how we go about honouring that which we think is really important. And I mean, whether you want to do that or not, your body tends to do it, your emotions tend to do it. And I think I'm going through a process of grief at the moment regarding how life has turned out to be in 2020 and 2021, not the kind of life that I had been hoping for, and that means grieving what I feel I've lost. And the thing about grief is, it's a process you have to go into rather than avoid, because if you avoid it, you kind of prolong it. A bit like if you need to go to the dentist, and I hate the dentist, not personally, just I don't enjoy, I don't hate the personal dentist that I go to, I just don't like the idea of going to the dentist. And it doesn't get better the longer you put it off. In fact, the best thing I can do when I need to go to the dentist is go straight away. Go in, go hard, get it all done and get out of there as quickly and as efficiently as possible. And while grief isn't that clinical, there are some similarities, and I'm finding in this process, the faster I come to acceptance and come to terms with the realities that are becoming obvious to me about life this year and for the next few months, and probably into next year in some ways, the better off I am. So what helps you process those emotions and get through that as efficiently as possible? Well, for different people it's different things. For most people, being able to talk with someone they really trust, because trust is important, because you can only say certain things in a context in which you trust the other person, and you don't even know what those things are until you're in that context, and your trust with the other person makes it possible for even you to become aware of those things. That's an amazing process. So find someone you trust, have a conversation, encourage each other along the way, be with people you love, and in that way we, I think, support each other through this process of coming to terms with the reality. The thing about the reality is it's not going away, so there's no time limit on this, but to address it as efficiently as possible if you're struggling is by far and away the most helpful thing to do. Now, I don't know if that makes sense to you. I don't know if your experience is anything like mine, but if you are hitting the wall, experiencing some kind of grief or other things that you don't really understand, that is perfectly understandable. I would dare say natural, and you might want to speak with Jade at the college, or you're more than welcome to contact me. Put my phone number up here on the screen. I'll edit that in later. You can give me a call, and happy to walk with you and talk with you, or point you in the right direction for some reading or whatever is useful. Thinking of you, I mean, I'm surrounded by some fantastic people. I'm very fortunate, and I'm sure you are too, but that doesn't mean this isn't a challenging part of life. So God be with you, stay faithful, we will see you soon, and this will end. Life will become better. God bless.